You know when you get into work and you're like, man, first thing in the morning, just really need that cup of coffee just to keep going? This is my coffee. All right, so all jokes aside about morning drinking, which it's 10 a.m. here right now, so it's definitely morning drinking. Let's get into the producer, Cavalchina. Gotta remember that in Italian, CH is a K, as in Chianti. So Cavalchina. I think 2 C's makes a ch sound. It's very confusing. But Cavalchina, 2020 Bardolino. What is Bardolino? This is a winemaking region in the Veneto. The Veneto is northeast Italy, most famously known for Prosecco and Amarone. The Veneto, for me in Italy, is kind of like the Rolling Stones in the 80s. Excess to the extreme, not great quality, you kind of wonder what happened. So Amarones are these huge wines, high alcohol. We're talking like 18% alcohol. Prosecco is made in mass quantities in any wine that is almost made better by adding orange juice to it. Doesn't really scream quality, right? But an ocean of Prosecco is made. So the Veneto on a whole, I tend to largely ignore. However, you do find these really fantastic producers that go against the grain. This is predominantly a variety called Corvina. There's a couple others. You never hear about these varieties because they're essentially always grown in the Veneto. This is the Jazz Hands, the Whimsical red wine coming out of the Veneto. Meant to be enjoyed in its youth. These wines are fantastic, you know, almost upon release. This is aged exclusively in stainless steel for about 6 months. Super juicy. You'll notice the convenience of the screw top. And when you're talking about alcohol, not 18%, 12.5, which is, for red wine, is kind of on the lower end of things. On the nose, man, it's really cool because you get this like dark red cherry, little bit of blueberry, blackberry, so all of the colors of the berries. And then there's this bitter component that's in there. This is something that requires food, which is a very European approach to wine drinking. They don't drink wine unless there's food in front of them. We tend to start cooking. Let's open a bottle of white wine. We're gonna finish with red. In Italy, you would have a cocktail, an aperitivo, an aperitif, you'd have a beer. Those are drinks meant to be enjoyed on their own. But in Europe, elsewhere, you only drink wine with food. And so this is one of those great examples that I'll admit, I've had this a few times now without food and been like, it's okay. But the minute I have something like pizza or steak or pasta in front of me, the wine transforms and is so fun to drink. Now let's get into the palate. Right, and it's like, now it's kind of starting to become herbaceous. This might be a wine that's really fun to decant for a little bit. Figure that it's like a speed dating, right? This wine is in speed dating. If you open it and immediately pour it, after like the 3rd or 4th person you talk to, you've loosened up a little bit, you've had a drink, you're a lot more fun. That's what decanting essentially does. Now this wine is wild. The fruit comes in and then it kind of has this dried fruit component, great acidity, but there is this bitter note that comes through, and I start salivating, not only because of the acidity, but because I'm craving something. Like I need food now. Charcuterie. This would work phenomenally well with charcuterie and hard cheeses. Definitely on the lighter body side, but it's refreshing. And when we're eating, you know, especially in the wintertime, when you're eating kind of those heavier dishes, you want something that balances it out. I really hope you enjoyed this wine as much as I do. Cheers.